Hello friends, Stacy Anfinson here with your tour report market update. We're going to dig into Dorify MLS data for February of 2026 for main counties of Wake, Durham, Johnston, and Orange. Let's see what happened. So inventory, once again, we go back all the way to 2007. The teal line is the total inventory at the end of month, which I call EOM, and then dark blue is resale. You can see if you look to the right of the graph, there's a 20% increase in total inventory, 33% increase in resale inventory. Those are really strong percentage increases, but go back to the left side of the graph and you can see that in spite of 20 and 33% increase, we are still at least 50% below where we were on total inventory and about a third of where we were on resale inventory. So inventory growth is needed, but it's been strong, but it is still well below where we were in 2007, going all the way back to 2012. So increased inventory does provide some challenges for the sellers. This is a bit of a busy graph. The teal bar is the percent of end of month inventory with at least one price drop. The dark blue bar is the percent of inventory that has been on the market for longer than the average days on market for the closed sales, which is about 60 days. And then the green line is the percent of inventory added during the month that has gone to expired, status changed to expired and withdrawn. Nothing really dramatic in this graph other than the fact that I take a look at it as a stabilization. In our market, with the exception of the COVID year, you're going to have a decent percentage of inventory that's got a price drop. And I think if you look at the teal bar, 32%, if you look at it on the far right, I think we're well below where national is. I think national is somewhere between 40 and 50%. So that's good for our market. And once again, price dropping to me is a positive sign. It means that the sellers are reacting to market conditions and lowering their prices accordingly. Closed listings. Once again, this has been a narrative in both NAR and the national press in terms of, if we had more sales, sales are not very good compared to where they should be. Well, I'm going to dispute that. We're up. I take a look at the 20-year average for February closed sales, and we're up 6% compared to that. I think that's pretty strong. If you look at the COVID years of 2020 and 2021, those were juiced by super low interest rates. I don't think we're ever going to get back to that again. But if you look at the 1728, it really beat, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, beat 9 years of February's out of that 20. So I think that's pretty strong. Average days on the market, once again, this is another freak show for the national media. Yes, days on market for February is 2x where it was in February of 2022. But go back to if you wanted to draw a line through that, the trend line is probably around 80 days. In relocation world, they want a 90 to 120 day price because that's historically what marketing time has been for that. So 60 days is really moving back towards a more normalized days on market environment. Months of housing supply, just to refresh, 3 months or lower is an undersupply, 10 months or more is an oversupply, which you've seen if you look at the right side of the graph is we're back in a balanced market now, 2 consecutive Februaries of being in balance, offsetting the years between 2017 and 2024, we had an undersupply of it. And if you really want to go back to the way back days in the recession, we had 15, 16 double-digit days in supply. So that are months of supply. That's really, I hope we don't see that again. But just to show you, those of you that got in the business recently, those days did happen. Average sales price. This was the first in February, down 3% compared to where we were in February of 2025. It's the first time that has happened on a month-to-month basis, and I can't remember when. We'll talk about potential reasons for that in the last slide. Monthly principal of interest, down 5%. Yes, so house prices go down, mortgage rates are lower. You're going to see your monthly PI down, and it's at 5%. Just to go back to where it was in 2020, the level in 2026 is almost 2x where that was. That's a pretty strong ingestion of monthly mortgage principal and interest over a 6-year period. So key takeaways for you. Number one, second week in February was the low point for mortgage rates, 5.98% compared to 6.5% in the third week in March. That's a pretty big increase in a short amount of time. Remember last year we pretty much had a decreasing mortgage rate environment each month. So it'll be interesting to see how that increase above 6% is going to influence the spring market. That gets you right to number two. Will increase mortgage rates, soften spring demand. Number three, the decrease in February average resale sales price. Is that finally the result of buyer resistance to current price options? I'm going to say yes, because now you have options. And if you don't like the price that you see, you can sit on the sideline until you see something that is more to your liking, and then you jump in. Number four, macroeconomic, from a U.S. and an international standpoint, we've got gas price increases in their level, food inflation, the Iran war. Will the residential market be impacted? I'm going to say yes. We don't escape any of that stuff, but to what degree, I don't know. I do talk to a lot of practitioners who say there's a lot of angst on the buyer side, which I find pretty interesting, especially the higher up that you get. And when you have angst in the buyer side, it's typically reflected in lower pending sales with resulting lower closed sales. So we'll see at the angst level. I don't have a way to measure that other than talking to practitioners about that. Last one, 41% of new home end-of-month listings had at least one price drop. Will that percentage increase, stay the same, or go down? They're really... They had a lot of discounts in the fourth quarter, which produced fourth quarter sales, but they're a factory, so they had houses coming in right behind it at a similar rapid construction rate, and so now those houses are in there. A lot of them are in quick move-in status. If they're sold, you're going to get some price drops. So, and once again, corporate leaders of the national builders are very much aware of bullet point number 4, and they're going to do what they can to produce sales. So that is all I've got this month. Once again, the services I provide, appraisals for mortgage, relo, attorneys, sellers, buyers, estates, we're into that. TOR report and then consulting, I've got capacity in all of those. So once again, thank you so much. Here's my contact information. If you like the video, please click on like it, and we will see you next month.